Y'all can keep y'all's call of the night. I got myself the Gashikashi. They're both made by the same mangaka. I just like this heroine a lot more. Anyways though, Mangadex is absolutely going through the shitter right now. What do I mean by that? Well, if you haven't heard any news about it, they are going corporate. Now that sparks a lot of concern for many others, although Mangadex has already been going on a decline, but this is probably like, I guess, the final straw for anybody that uses it. I want to say like 5% of the population, maybe even less, or at least for the anime community, are actually outraged by this. One, because they are removing specific explicit content that is technically illegal if it were, you know, real life scenarios, but is absolutely disgusting in other words, regardless in any sense. That is that they are removing a lot of content that has anything to do with minors doing anything, you know, weird. And I'm not meaning weird as in like, you know, kind of goofy. I'm talking about like adult stuff, things that only adults will do. And that is a good thing because that is dirty. That is disgusting. That is something that PDFs would look into. Some people are actually outraged by this, and I don't understand why. That's a good thing that they're doing this. Other than that, for the most part, Mangadex is going corporate. It's kind of like a good thing, and I want to like maybe touch on some ideas on what could possibly happen, but seeing how they want to go corporate and possibly later in the future want to get more money, I can only see it getting worse. But for now, I just want to talk about some things that Mangadex has been doing in the past or has done in the past. For one, a lot of you may notice that have used Mangadex, a lot of their stuff have been going completely dark. For example, if you wanted to search up some manga, like big titles, that being Chainsaw Man or Gachiakuta, if you search up Gachiakuta, you are not going to find any chapters in English whatsoever because of the DMCA that they have been filed with back in the past. So when you look at any big mangas that have an English translation, an official English translation, it's going to be really difficult or if not even possible to find in Mangadex. And this happens to a very select few of mangas within Mangadex. But you take, for example, Chainsaw Man. If you wanted to look for chapters there, you're going to be able to find the English translations. Why did this happen? I'm not entirely sure. It's like picking and choosing which series they are allowed to do in English. But if you look at any other languages, like let's say, for example, Italian, you know, if you want to look at the Spanish, right, you know, all of it's going to be there, just not in English. And again, that has to do with the copyright laws because again, if you have not noticed by now, obviously, I'm pretty sure you do know that a lot of these pirated sites are actually illegal. So it did take a toll. They did get hit with a lot of, I guess, I'm assuming reports. So that is the reason why, for the most part, a lot of these chapters don't have English translations that are kept up to date. That or translators are just not picking up, especially for Mangadex at all. I don't know how all of this goes, and I don't know how it works behind the scenes for, you know, pirated sites to English translations. So if you do know, leave them down in the comments. I would love to know more about it. But as this post says right here, that Mangadex will officially move toward legal compliance by removing manga depicting sexual content with characters that appear to be minors, reviewed on a case-by-case basis by either character design or dialogue. So this was actually stated by the admin, and the admin would like to go on further by saying, to get enjoyment by little kids doing some stuff, go and do it elsewhere. There are sites that specialize in that, which, yeah, if you do that, dude, come on, man, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you doing that? I really don't like how outrageous some of these comments are when this specific thing is getting taken down. But one thing that I will agree though, and it has nothing to do with what the admin stated, it actually has to be with like the identity of Mangadex. As this post states right here better than I could ever, you know, come up with. Not that I'm defending pedo content, but Mangadex used to be the archive of manga and slowly has begun losing more and more of its original identity. Again, if you look up any other manga series, not Gachiakuta or not Chainsaw Man, but any other series that you could think of, you're more than likely not going to find it on Mangadex. Maybe on other pirated sites that are a little bit more risky, you know, they're taking the risk to actually file and have a lot of these in their archive. Mangadex just either erased it all completely or slowly declining it to, which is terrible and it sucks. And I really hope that at one point they're able to get the legalities all figured out and have those mangas back in action and translated. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the video, I did say that there are some good things that can come out of this by Mangadex, and I'm really hoping that this is going to happen, but chances are very slim. And that is that it becomes a better version of like Crunchyroll or Viz Media. Now, Crunchyroll side, they were a company that did do pirated stuff. They leached off of their community and ended up going corporate, and now you see the streaming service. They're a big store. They're buying a lot of things and making anime suck because they are not a great platform. So it really is terrible that, you know, Crunchyroll is just not about anime or the community anymore. It's just about money, and everything else is just a byproduct, but a shitty byproduct at that. When you look at Viz, the Viz is strictly staying with manga, and I haven't seen anything good with the translations, the amount of mangas that they have in their archive, as well as the translations to them. For one, the translations are either localized and translated poorly just so that the translator can push somewhat of an agenda, or just being flat out terrible. On the archive side of it, if you are not supporting that mangaka, that author, that artist, and their series, then they're just going to take away that manga and then blame it on you because you did not buy anything. Now, what I'm hoping that Mangadex does is not do anything that they are doing. That is a bad example. Mangadex, please, 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 if you are going to be, you know, becoming a, you know, corporate thing, and if you're going to make us pay for whatever, please be a good platform where every manga that you have had in the past, excluding the stuff that you are obviously doing away, which is good, please bring it back, because it sucks so bad seeing that the way that we are paying for, you know, getting our not money's worth, obviously, is just treating us terribly. I don't like Viz and I don't like Crunchyroll. Please do better than those two if you're going to go corporate and make us buy a subscription fee or whatever. Yeah, no, that's all I really gotta say. And I know that hope and that, it, you know, that theory is like a long shot. I don't know what they're gonna go from here on out, but it can only be semi-positive. Let me know what y'all guys think about this news. Let me know what you think about Mangadex, and do you think that there's going to be any future anymore for this website alone? But anyways, appreciate y'all for hanging around. If y'all like what y'all see, why not drop a like and subscribe, as that does help around in my channel a lot. Anyways, though, if you made it this far, appreciate y'all for hanging around, and I'll see y'all next time. Adios, guys.